we're going to speculate that you might not even want to play for the Browns. Like, you might be looking for somewhere else to go.
Why would I do that?
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that's just someone national. Yeah, like threw that out there.
I mean, none of those national people know me. They don't talk to me. So why would anybody listen to any of that stuff? All that is speculation. So if it ain't coming from me, then all the other is bullshit. So.
You know why we would think that, Deshaun? You know why we would think that you might not want to play for the Browns? Because it was just a few years ago that you didn't want to play for the Texans. After you took a big contract from them in September, by the end of the year, you decided you didn't want to play for them anymore, and you never played for them again. And you emerged on the other side of 25-plus lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct during massage therapy sessions with a $46 million per year, fully guaranteed 5-year contract. You won. So, as I said the other day, Peter, and this goes back to my days of delivering newspapers and using rubber bands. Once you stretch a rubber band to a certain point, it's very easy to stretch it back to that point again. And I always say, when you trade for a guy who fell out of love with the team he was playing for, you better be prepared for him to feel that way about you at some point. That's why the question's being asked. There's a weird vibe. We don't know what's going on. You've got coach saying he was medically cleared to play against the Browns. Everyone feels like they're tiptoeing around the situation, in part because of the fully guaranteed contract that runs through 2025. So that's the reason, Deshaun. Something seems off, and you've already gone down the path before in your career of saying, I don't want to play for this team anymore, and not playing for the team. He sat out all of 2021. He sat out the entire season, and they paid him to sit out the entire season because he didn't want to play for the Houston Texans. So this isn't the first time it's happened, if it's happening again.
There's a great American sports writer, Joe Posnanski, who had a great line this week. And he said, he's a Clevelander, and he said, the Deshaun Watson saga just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And truer words have not been spoken. Because, look, we have seen what has happened since Deshaun Watson signed his contract with the Cleveland Browns. And I think that it's quite likely that we will reach the end of year 2 of that contract without knowing if the Browns made a okay decision or totally got fleeced. It certainly doesn't look like it's going to be a great decision, but who knows? We'll see. Because, Mike, I think when I look at Deshaun Watson right now and the huge question marks over his head, I just keep thinking back to it has now been 10 games, 10 football games he has played. He has started, rather, 10 of them. There hasn't been one of those 10, not a single one, where you watch the game and you say, boy, that's the Deshaun Watson that the Browns paid for. Not one. Not a single one. So if you're Jimmy and Dee Haslam and you're watching this unfold and now, and again, look, and you watch quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes look like they just got their ankle caved in and he's screaming at Andy Reid, let me stay in the game. I can play. And then you just watch Deshaun Watson, whose coach 2 weeks earlier said he was medically cleared, and then he wasn't cleared. And I do not think it's smart at all to question whether a guy should or shouldn't play because of an injury, because you just don't know. However, I know what I see with other players, and I just haven't seen that in Deshaun Watson. And again, maybe the pain is intolerable, and I get it. That's entirely possible. But I just don't ever think that I would see Deshaun Watson do what Patrick Mahomes did, which is go up to Andy Reid on the sidelines and scream at him to say, do not take me out of this game. I just, he seems like a passive dude. And I don't know, you're a quarterback in the NFL, you're a passive dude, and you've over the first 2 years of your career, you're going to make $92 million. And what have we seen in the first year and a half? Not much. and not much good. Your quarterback rating is under 80. Anyway, Mike, it's a weird situation in Cleveland is all I'll say.
I'm making no conclusions at this point other than it's a weird situation. And I'm not saying he doesn't want to play for the Browns. All I'm saying is 3 years ago he decided he didn't want to play for the Texans. So we know he's capable of coming to that conclusion, drawing a hard line, and thinking he's going to get what he wants. And the Browns have gotten fleeced here when you look at the return so far. Beyond the $46 million per year for 5 years, they gave up a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick in 2022, a first-round pick and a third-round pick in 2023, and they still owe the Texans a 1 and a 4 next year. So beyond the money, look at the nucleus of great young talent they have handed to the Houston Texans. This has been, it's not quite a disaster yet for the Browns, but boy, it's knocking on disaster's door. And we'll see how the rest of this season plays out. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.